we are joined by Mr. Tafara Chirambira. He's the District Public Prosecutor for Harare District and the Provincial Spokesperson for the Harare NPAZ. Good morning, Tafara, and thank you for joining us on Morning Rush today. How's your Friday morning going?
Hectic, eh? I'm already tired, but good morning and thanks for having me.
Were you prosecuting people already?
Throughout the night, my friend.
Always busy. But we understand that as the NPA, you guys work with a law enforcement agency. So that's like the police, ZAC, and now and again you engage in operations, and they usually result in the arrest of several people. One such operation I know is that one that was targeting violent crimes and robbers. As the NPA, all this is left in your hands. How are you fared regarding this?
Thanks. The job of the NPA, you see, more than the police, the job of the NPA is to make sure that the public feel that justice is playing out in the halls of justice. That's in the courts. And post-COVID, indeed, we saw a surge. We saw a sharp increase. Armed robbery cases prominently in Harare. And as the NPA, what we then did is we've assigned senior prosecutors to deal with cases of armed robberies. We've assigned our best personnel on the ground. And I'm happy to announce and to tell the country that so far the results have been coming in quick and fast. For example, we have a case, some particular person, Crispin Bonda, sentenced to think about 2 weeks ago to an effective 73 years at Harare Magistrate Court because of the number of armed robbery cases that he was convicted for. So I think we have succeeded, we have done our part, and we continue to encourage members of the public to also be cooperative and to also play their part in helping us assist in protecting them.
All right, and also corruption is another thorny issue when it comes to us as the public and wanting to see maybe the results of that. I mean, local authorities in particular have come in for special attention. I think we did a story earlier in this week where I think a huge chunk of the corruption cases were attached to local authorities and councillors and all those guys. Now again, how are you guys handling those cases? Because I mean, there have been accusations that, you know, there's catch and release. Sometimes the cases come to you guys, but you know, we end up seeing the people back in the streets, or we don't always feel like we've seen justice take its course.
Corruption is a topical issue, I'll agree. But when they say catch and release, I think it's something that you guys in the media have created. Most people believe that when a person is alleged to have committed a crime, they should immediately go to prison. But it's a process. Yep. You're alleged to have committed a crime, you're arrested. You have a right to bail, because bail is a constitutional right. As the NPA, we're more interested in convicting you, because once we have convicted you, then we can send you away. I'm pleased to announce that since the start of January here in Harare, we have completed 42 corruption cases. That's an increase because last year we only had 30 for the whole year. This year up to now we've completed 42 of them. And the conviction rate in corruption cases is approximately 53%. So to me that's a pass. It's something just above an average. But we continue to do better. Just last week we have one official from Chitungwija City Council convicted. She was sentenced to 18 months effective. And today, personally, I have a sentencing. We convicted a former director of housing from Chitungwija. There's a sentencing approximately 2:15. So you find that as the NPA, we have stepped up our game. When I last came to this show, we told you of a vision that the Prosecutor General was setting for prosecution officers. Now that vision is full swing and it's in play, and results are there for everyone to see. Because if we can complete 42 cases just in Harare district alone, I would wonder, and I'm very eager to see or to hear how much as a country we've managed to succeed and how much as the NPA we've managed to do so that we gain the confidence of the people that we say we serve.
So 53% conviction rate, up to 42 cases. I want to just stick on that for a little bit. In terms of corruption cases, are they more challenging to sort of prove than maybe your homicide or your robbery or violent cases? What seems to be, where do you think this perception of catch and release comes from in the general public?
It's not necessarily that they are more challenging, but it is the magnitude of the case. It is the media attention that is given. If right now I'm walking down the street, someone grabs my cell phone and runs away, that's usually between me and the particular person. Yep. But when you're dealing with corruption, it's a scenario where The moment someone is alleged to have stolen taxpayers' funds, misabused public office, everyone has an interest because we all are citizens of the Republic. So the moment that it blows up in the media that so-and-so has been arrested, people want to see immediate results, and it's understandable. But remember, as prosecution, as lawyers, we act within the confines of the law. And the law then says, you know what, if a person is arrested, they have a right to attend their trial coming from home. So the moment a person gets bail, people will then say they have been released. But no, we play the long game.
Yeah.
As the NPA, we play the long game. We want to convict you and we want to send you away and set an example.
There was another operation, especially after the introduction of the ZiG, the Zimbabwe Gold currency. This was mainly targeting money changers, especially illegal forex deals. What has been the NPA's role in that, in terms of your conviction rate? How successful was this campaign, and what role did you guys play in that particular campaign?
People who trade in foreign currency, I call them economic saboteurs. It's a serious economic crime, and it's an explanation of why at times the normal average working citizen has suffered in this country. And as the NPA, yes, we took part in that operation. And we provided the legal assistance, number one, for anyone who would come to the courts and they are facing charges to do with illegal forex dealing. Our stance was that bail should be opposed because of the magnitude of the actions and the results of their actions on the economy. So we opposed bail successfully for most of them. With regards to the trials, in Harare district, we have completed, I think, approximately about 12% of those trials, and our conviction rate has been very high, slightly above 90%, because those are clear-cut cases. You are exchanging in forex, the police come, they observe you, and they arrest you. And because of that, we have succeeded in convicting about 90% of those people, and the average range of the sentences has been between 3 to 6 months, which we hope has been deterrent, or is deterrent, because right now in the streets at least, there is many of those people who are flipping money and requesting me to change it to another currency.
But and then obviously another thorny issue, especially when it comes to public transport, the issue of touts. This one had a huge number of arrests, and we witnessed police trucks delivering loads and loads of mawindi, as we like to call them. What happened to these cases?
We, so far throughout the year, have dealt with 358 cases that involve touts. Yeah. And of the 358 cases, all have been convictions, because most of these people will be pleading guilty. Unfortunately, our legal regime, though, is a bit lenient on the sentencing of touts. We have seen sentences that range from fines to community service, but there has always been, or we have advocated as the NPA, for a suspended sentence, where we say you have had 3 months of your sentence suspended if you don't do this within the next 5 years. So the idea is that if everyone, or if every tout has a suspended sentence hanging on their head or on their block, they don't do it for the next 5 years. And I think you will confirm, or you can agree with me, that Harare has become mostly tout-free in the recent months, and that is due to the efforts that we have done as the NPAZ, or so we believe.
All right, and then staying with touts, but moving away more on to what's happening on our roads. There have been suggestions that there's a backlog, especially with traffic-related offences. Is that correct?
Let me correct you. There was a backlog. There was a backlog. Our traffic court has stepped up in the district or in the province, and they have done well. Right now, I will gladly, as a spokesperson, tell you that there is no backlog in our traffic court. There is really no backlog. You be involved in a traffic infringement today, you come to court tomorrow, we'll deal with your matter. You get your sentence if you're convicted, if you are innocent, or if you're found not guilty, good for you, and life progresses. So there was a backlog in our traffic court, but we've managed to clear that successfully. And we hope that the backlog doesn't mount again, so that we can also play our part in maintaining traffic safety on the roads.
And drugs. I think there have been quite a few high-profile cases of arrests over the last maybe 18 to 24 months. In terms of that, what has been the conviction rate like? And are you guys satisfied with the legal regime in terms of the sentencing that's available for drug-related offences?
You see, drugs is a topical issue. It's so huge that the government had to set up a national task force to deal with drugs. We have so far completed 96 cases in this year to do with various types of drugs, marijuana, crystal meth, even cocaine. And of the 96, 80 have resulted in convictions. We have about 16 cases that are pending in our courts, and we're hoping to clear those soon in this district. Notable sentences, we have one case Someone was found in possession of about 2.3 kgs of marijuana. They've gone to prison for 8 months. Someone was dealing. They've been sentenced for 9 months. And we're glad that as the media you're reporting these cases, because at times that plays a role also. We don't want to be operating in a silo. We want the whole to know what we're doing. We want the whole to know our position. And as the NPA, we have strongly advocated for custodial sentences for anyone and everyone who has been caught in possession or dealing with drugs.
And I mean, just staying on that drugs issue, there have been accusations in the past that maybe when it comes to conviction and those who get sentences, it's usually the low-level drug dealers and not necessarily the head honchos. Like, how much of those high-level drug dealers have been brought to court, and you guys have had an opportunity to sort of prosecute?
What is low level? What is high level? Drugs are drugs. When you come, when you come to Harare Magistrates Court, we look at you, we look at the facts.
Yeah.
And I don't know who is low level, I don't know who is high
No,
level.
maybe
in terms of quantity.
Yeah, in terms of volumes, I guess.
Yes, in terms of volumes, we had Catherine Nyamia. She was found in possession of marijuana that could fill up half of this room.
Oh, that's a lot.
Sent to prison for what? Close to 5 years. Maybe that's high level enough.
Okay,
All that I'm saying is, for us, an accused person is natural juristic person who has committed an offense. We look you in the eye, we look at the evidence, and we go ahead and prosecute you.
And there has been a bit of hullabaloo on social media in a case involving some activists with allegations that a school child has been locked up. I'm not too sure of the details. If you come across these allegations, is that come to the attention of the NPA?
Yes. We have a case where on social media, just like you, just like everyone else, we then learned that we saw pictures and we were told that there's a school child that is amongst, I think it was initially a group of 77 individuals who had been arrested for whatever misdemeanor. And what we then did as the NPA is we took an active role and we actually sent the investigating officers to say, can you investigate this? And the investigating officer has brought about results which we are in the process of then seeing how we can assist a school child. It's unfortunate that, you see, the law is played out in court. It's not played out on social media.
Yep.
So yes, we saw it on social media, but just yesterday we had to go through the court record to see that, was this ever brought up? All we realized was that when the initial bail hearing was done, both at Harare Magistrate Court and in the High Court, the mention was that this person is a student. It was not shown that they are an ordinary level candidate meant to sit for their exam. So when the decision is made by the magistrate and on appeal when it comes before the High Court, that crucial aspect that they're supposed to be writing this year was not brought out. And that obviously would be the responsibility of the lawyers and not the NPA. But now that information was brought on social media, we have investigated and we are likely to lean in favor of the O-level candidate as and when it's brought before the courts.
So it has to be brought before the courts?
It has to be brought before the courts by the lawyers representing. Because once, it's one thing having it on social media and it's one thing it actually happening in court, because the court cannot then just give a ruling to say that I have read on social media. That's bizarre and that's not founded in our law.
And there may be issues of human trafficking. There was a story, I think earlier this year about women being taken to Oman or even the Middle East and other countries. How much control and how much legislative power do you guys have as the NPA to deal with such cases of human trafficking or slavery, if you want to call it that?
Yes, it's sad, really. It's sad. We have seen an increase in that. People for various reasons, maybe economic, they want to leave the country, they fall in the wrong hands. And we did receive, this year we have dealt with about 4 cases. Some, unfortunately, people returned from Oman in body bags. May their souls rest in peace. We have dealt with them. We've completed all of them. The last one which we dealt with, the sentence was passed, I think, 2 weeks ago. And we have been advocating for stiff penalties. That one, the particular one that I'm talking of, the accused person was sentenced to 9 years imprisonment. The 2 previous one, we had one sentenced to 15 years and the other sentenced to 12 years. Because the message that the Prosecutor General wants us to send through the courts is to say that we are not going to tolerate that. We as a country have to put a stamp, and we have to show the world out there that whether most of these accused persons are not ordinarily Zimbabwean citizens. So whether you're a foreigner, whether you're a local, you traffic one of our people, we will take you through the due process, and if you are found guilty, the NPA will go for the maximum sentences. That's why you find that for human trafficking cases, we deal with them only in our regional courts, because we want the sentencing jurisdiction that a regional magistrate would have. So I think we're on top of that as a crime, and as the NPA, we're faring okay.
All right. Thank you very much. Maybe just before I let you go, maybe just your final message to the general public in terms of maybe what you guys are doing to make sure that we're safe, to make sure that those who commit crimes are convicted and there's no misinformation around what's happening in our courts.
We value the duty that we play as the NPA. We value the role that we play and what we do for society. But we can only become effective if there is feedback between us and the general populace. So we value feedback, and we encourage people to interact with us. We encourage people, whenever there is a court building or wherever there is a court building, we encourage members of the public to come through. And they can tell us and interact with any one of our offices. We have a strictly open door policy, because at the end of the day, we want the public to feel safe. That is our core mandate. We prosecute without fear or favor.
Konapo Konapo, Ipapo Ipapo pa ZTN Prime, DSTV channel 294, the place to be.